Hey everyone, if you're an STPM student getting ready for that big math paper, you are in the right place. Today, we are diving deep into one of the toughest topics out there, techniques of integration. But we're not just going to review the methods. Nope, we're going to give you a rock-solid strategy for your exam. You know that feeling, don't you? You're sitting in the exam, the clock is just ticking away, and you're staring at this integral, and your mind just goes blank. Should I use substitution? Integration by parts, partial fractions? That little moment of doubt, man, it can cost you big time on points and confidence. But here's the thing. What if I told you it's not just a random guessing game? It's more like a puzzle. And with any good puzzle, there's a logical path to the solution. Today, we're going to hand you the key to unlock pretty much any integration problem that comes your way. So let's start by checking out your toolkit. All right, first things first. Let's lay out the weapons you have in your arsenal. Think of these as the 4 essential tools you've got for tackling any integration problem. So, we've got 4 main techniques, right? Recognizing a function and its derivative, using partial fractions, substitution, and of course, integration by parts. Now, you've probably spent ages learning how to use each one, but the real secret, the real magic, is knowing which tool to grab for which job. And that is 100% true. I mean, you can be amazing with a hammer, but it's totally useless if you actually need a screwdriver, right? It's the exact same idea with integration. So what's the missing piece here? Well, you need a system, a strategy to make that choice, and make it fast. And that's exactly what we're about to break down. This isn't just a list of random tips. This is a step-by-step decision guide. It's designed to give you total clarity, especially when you're under pressure. Okay, here we go. This is probably the most important slide we're going to look at. This is the exact order your brain needs to follow, every single time. Think of it like a checklist. You always start at step 1, and you only move down the list if the answer is no. This specific order, that's the real key to getting it right quickly. So the very first thing you do is scan the integral. Ask yourself, do I see a function and its derivative just hanging out together? You know, like an x squared term and a 2x right next to it? If you spot that connection, boom, your job is simple. You're either using recognition or a straightforward substitution. Problem solved. Next. All right, what if you looked for that function derivative pair and it wasn't there? No big deal. We just move on to step 2. Is the problem a rational function? In other words, is it just one polynomial divided by another? If you see that, a little alarm should go off in your head that just screams partial fractions. Still no luck? Okay, on to step 3. Now you're hunting for a composite function. That just means a function inside of another function. Think about stuff in brackets raised to a power, or maybe a whole expression inside a sine or an exponential function. When you see that structure, that's your big signal to use the substitution method. And at last, if you've gone through steps 1, 2, and 3 and none of them fit, you end up here at step 4. Now you're looking for a product of 2 totally different kinds of functions, maybe an x squared multiplied by a cosine of x. That is the classic textbook sign that you need to use integration by parts. It might be the last tool you reach for, but it is super powerful. Phew, okay, so we just walked through that whole 4-step process. Now let's pull it all together into one simple, really powerful visual you can use to study. This is your personal integration decision map. Seriously, take a mental picture of this table, or a real one. This is your entire game plan on one slide. The next time you see a scary-looking integral, don't panic. Just start at the top and ask these 4 questions in this exact order. This table will guide you. It turns what feels like a complicated choice into a simple process of elimination. So what's the big takeaway here? Success on your STPM exams isn't really about memorizing 1,000 different answers. It's about having a reliable system you can trust, a system that works every single time. This strategy is going to save you time, cut down on that exam stress, and give you a clear path forward on any problem. By following this logical sequence, you're not guessing anymore. You're analyzing. You're making a smart decision, and you are conquering the problem. So go on, get some old exam papers, and put this strategy to the test. So what do you say? Are you ready to become an integration master?